Hey, I'm Yogi Don, your octogenarian yogi. When I began yoga in 1996, I was 57 years old and stiff as a board. I could hardly reach below my knees. In these videos, I'll share what I've learned over the years about yoga's ethics, its philosophy, its poses, its breath work, and meditation. I hope you'll subscribe and share these videos. May we be protected together, may we be nourished together, may we create strength together, may our work together bring fulfillment, and may there be no disharmonies among us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In the first part of this series, we learned that the old yoga texts say that yoga is teaching us how to restrain our random thoughts. That's good because we need some way to restrain those random thoughts. We do them very well. Sometimes this random thought process is referred to as our monkey mind. But maybe the bull in our mental china shop works better. One thing that I forgot to mention in the last video was that when we're under stress, the blood that's normally supplied to our brain is reduced slightly and sent to other parts of our bodies, so that we're ready to deal with whatever that threat might be, whether it's a real one or an imagined one. What this means is that the prefrontal cortex, the decision-making part of our brains, doesn't operate like we're used to. When we're stressed, our decision-making capability is somewhat reduced. Okay, back to what we learned in the last video. There are two brain networks that are important to understanding how we can restrain those random thoughts. We learned that we can turn off those random thoughts by controlling our breath. And then we can begin to do that through three simple breaths: the heart and abdomen centered practices and the humming practice. In this part, we're going to learn some breaths that are much more powerful at dealing with stress and anxiety, and one that we'll use to stay balanced. To get the most out of these breaths, we first want to look at how we breathe and perhaps refine our breathing just a bit. So, let's begin. First of all, remember how little babies breathe lying in the crib, where they just learn how to sit upright and little bellies move in and out as they breathe? And somewhere in our preteen years, we think that it's really cool to breathe through our chest so our bellies aren't moving. We want to have this nice, tight, flat belly. So, chest breathing is fast, it's shallow, and it also helps to stimulate stress. As adults, we should belly breathe just like the baby. Belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing is associated with lower stress, so teaching ourselves to breathe diaphragmatically and non-judgmentally is really what it's all about. Now, remember what happens to our bodies and minds when we breathe fast? When we're anxious, when we recall a bad memory, our breath speeds up and we become anxious. Research shows that a correlation exists between voluntarily regulated diaphragmatic breathing practices and reduced stress. Okay, so we'll do some breath work next. Let's begin sitting upright, nice spine, shoulders back, broad across the chest. Let's bring our hands to our belly with our fingers sort of interlaced between each other loosely. And as we inhale, feel the fingers pull apart a bit. And as we exhale, they slide back together again. Inhaling, exhaling. Okay, diaphragmatic breathing. That's really great if we're already breathing diaphragmatically. But many of us are not breathing diaphragmatically naturally. So let me next show you some practice that will help you to learn how to breathe diaphragmatically if you'll do it on something of a regular basis. Okay, let's go do that. Okay, we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing practice on our backs. Now, I'm going to be on the floor, but you could do this on a bed. It works much better on a bed, I think, than it does on a couch, because the couch is kind of narrow. Where on a bed you have more room on both sides of yourself. Excuse me. All right, I have my little cheat sheet here so that we're sure not to miss anything. All right, for this little exercise, I folded a blanket that's going to go under the backs of my knees. I've got a little something to support my head so my head is not solidly on the floor. And I also have a glass jar here of rice. It weighs out around 3 pounds. You could also use a heavy book. You could also use a bag of flour or rice or salt, anything like that. Something that's weight that you can place on your belly. All right, now I'm going to come onto my back, get this adjusted under my head. Then I'm going to take the jar and I'm going to place it on my belly, and my hands are going to be here close by so that it doesn't fall off. And as I inhale, I want to press the belly, inflate my belly so that the jar rises, falls on the exhale. All these breaths are done through the nose, no breathing through the mouth. So we close the mouth, inhale and exhale through the nose. Okay, we'll set the jar aside and come back to sitting. All right, practice diaphragmatic breathing. If you have problems doing it sitting upright, try it on your back, try it on the bed or on the floor. Feel the belly move. And you want to be able to breathe forcefully enough so that the belly does rise and fall. Not really exerting hard. Try and breathe as nearly naturally as you can, but with enough energy and enough force to be able to raise whatever it is you have on your belly. And then when you can do that comfortably, try sitting up and doing it, first with your hands around your belly or near your belly, so that you feel the movement. What we want to do is to have that feedback from your hands so that you're consciously aware of moving the belly and making energy move through your breath. Okay. Now, with the regular seated diaphragmatic breathing, not so much so with the practice laying on the floor where you're really trying to teach yourself away from chest breathing to diaphragmatic breathing. But in the other forms of breath, while you're doing them, if you can sort of bring a little smile to your face, and at the same time think of a loved one. Think of a wonderful situation that you had, something that really makes you feel good. If you can come up with a person, that's great, maybe a pet, something that you can really tune into that makes you feel really, really good. Okay. Next thing I want to do is to work on what we call balancing breath. It's really a great breath to use when it's sort of an everyday kind of breath. You can come back to it any time at all during the day. I recommend that you practice this breath regularly, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes through the day. Find some time where you can do it all at once, or if you can't do it at once, split it up, do 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But it really is important to practice. If you want to learn a skill, you have to practice. All right. Now, I want to get to my iTunes, and we're going to have some breath tones here that we're going to use that will also be helpful for you, and I'm going to post them at the end of this video. Okay, balancing breath. So we're inhaling for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4. And I'll count it. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. On your own. Okay. Now, when you're practicing this on your own, you can try and do it at about 1 second intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can begin to lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Find what's comfortable for you. Maybe you need to go faster. Maybe you need to go slower. Find what's comfortable for you and work with that. The next breath we're going to work on is called, it's more for acute stress or for chronic stress if you're really stressed out. First one we're going to do is called square breath. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Okay, so let's do it. We'll do it with my count. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Okay, simple. Now let's do it on our own. I'll start us off. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. And that'll be the end of that one. All right, next breath is called 4-4-6-2, where we will inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, hold for 2, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6, hold 2, and repeat. So, for some people, the square breath feels a little odd because at the end it feels like you really need to exhale more. So this 4-4-6-2 breath helps to accommodate that. So the total breath, both breaths are exactly the same amount of time from inhale to exhale. It's just how we distribute the exhale and the hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2. Square breath or 4-4-6-2 breath are both really great for stress and anxiety, for chronic or for acute and chronic stress and anxiety. So, when you find yourself in a sort of a panicked situation, very stressful situation, take a moment, stop, do one of these 2 breaths for 5 minutes if you can. If you can only do it for a minute or 2, do it for a minute or 2, then come back to it, but try and get 5 to 10 minutes of 4-4-6-2 or square breath to help calm you back down and help you regain control. So as we said earlier, when we're stressed, the blood supply to our frontal cortex, the prefrontal cortex, the decision-making part of our brains is reduced. So if we can do these breath exercises to sort of calm things down, to get blood back into our prefrontal cortex so that we can begin to make better decisions about whatever the stressful situation is very, very helpful. So these are some of the reasons why it's really important that you do these breaths when you're confronted with the stress. And the practice that you should be doing daily helps you to begin to remember how to do these breaths so that when you do come into a stressful situation, they'll become more automatic. So practice the balancing breath, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Practice also the square breath, 4, 4, 4, 4. Practice the 4-4-6-2, 4, 4, 6, 2, 4, 4, 6, 2. Okay, so what we've done today is practice a little diaphragmatic breathing. We worked on how we can retrain ourselves to breathe diaphragmatically by using a weight on our belly and making that weight move with our breath. We'll practice the balancing breath, we'll practice 4-4-6-2 breath and square breath. And that's plenty for today. So between now and next time, I hope you'll practice these regularly because they really, really do help. Again, thanks. Thanks for watching, and if you'll please check the descriptions below. There are some nice descriptions down there and also some additional things that you can go to, additional places that you can go to learn. May our bodies be strong, relaxed, and healthy. May our minds be calm, clear, and serene. May our hearts be filled with loving kindness, and may we live our lives in harmony with our true inner selves. May we be friendly toward the joyful, compassionate toward the suffering. May we celebrate the good in others and remain impartial to their faults and imperfections. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I hope you'll subscribe and share these videos.